जयो कुंज बिहारी। जयो राधा माधवा जयो कुंज बिहारी। जयो जयो गोपी जना वल्लभा जयो गिरिवर धारी। जयो गिरिवर धारी। जयो गोपी जना वल्लभा जयो गिरिवर धारी। जयो गिरिवर धारी। जयो जयो यशोदानंदन जयो ब्रज जन रंजन। जयो जयो यशोदानंदन जयो ब्रज जन रंजन। जयो जयो यमुना तीर वनचारी जयो कुंज बिहारी। जयो कुंज बिहारी। जयो राधा माधवा जयो कुंज बिहारी। जयो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैता गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्ता वृंदा। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 रामा राम राम हरे हरे। हरे Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Hare, Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Prabhupada Jayo, Jayo Prabhupada. Jai Om Vishnupada Paramahamsa Parijakacharya Ashto Shatra Shatris Divine Grace A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai Anant Koti Vaishnav Vrindi Ki Jai Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Jai Grantaraj Śrimad Bhāgavatam Ki Jai. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Hare Krishna, everybody. I would like to welcome you all for our today's Śrimad Bhāgavatam class. Today we're going to start the new chapter, chapter 7, and I titled as The Sacrifice Performed by Daksha. Today we're going to read out from text number 1 and 2. So 1 I will read by myself and 2 we will all read together. Maitreya Vacha. I will read by myself, text number 1. इति अजनानुनूतेना भावेना परितुषायता अभ्यधै महाभाहो प्रहस्या शूर्यताम iti. Translation. The sage Maitreya said, O mighty armed Vidura, Lord Shiva, being thus pacified by the words of Lord Brahma, spoke as follows in answer to Lord Brahma's request. Now, text number 2, we will all read together. Mahadeva Vacha Nagham Prajesha Balana Varnayena Nuchintaye Deva Maya Abhibhutana Dandastatra Dhrito Maya Mahadeva Vacha Nagham Prajesha Balana Varnayana Nuchintaye Deva Maya Abhibhutana Dandastatra Dhrito Maya. Please. Mahadeva Vacha Nagham Prajesha Balana Varnayena Nuchintaye Mahadeva Vacha Naham Prajesha Balana Varnayena Nuchintaye Deva Maya Vibhutana Dandasatra Dhrito Maya. Mahadeva Vacha Naham Prajesha Balana Varnayena Nanuchintaye Deva Maya Vibhutana Dandastatra Dhrito Maya. Word to word meaning Mahadevaha, Lord Shiva, Uvacha said, Na, not, Agham, offense, Prajaisha, O Lord of created beings, Bhalanam, of the children, Varne, I regard, Na, not, Anuchintaye, I consider, Deva Maya, the external energy of the Lord, Abhibhutanam, of those deluded by Dandaha, rod, Tatra, there, Dhritaha, used, Maya, by me. Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Translation. Lord Shiva said, My dear Father Brahma, I do not mind the offenses created by the demigods because these demigods are childish and less intelligent. I do not take a serious view of their offenses, and I have punished them only in order to right them. Purport. There are two types of punishment. One is that which is conqueror imposes on an enemy, and the other is like that a father imposes on his son. There is a gulf of difference between these two kinds of punishment. Lord Shiva is by nature a Vaishnava, a great devotee, and his name in this connection is Ashutosha. He is always satisfied, and therefore he did not become angry as if he were an enemy. He is not inimical to any living entity, rather, he always wishes the welfare of all. Whenever he chastises a person, it is just like a father's punishment of his son. Lord Shiva is like a father because he never takes seriously any offense by any living entities, especially the demigods. Om Ajnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshu Anmilitam Yena Tasme Shri Guruve Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधो दीन बंधो जगतपते गोपिशा गोपिका कांता श्री राधा कांता नमोस्तुते तप्त कांचना गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी विश्वभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये नमो विष्णुपदाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्ति वेदांता स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पश्चाति देशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंदा श्री अद्वैता गदाधार शिवासादि श्री गौर भक्तवृंदा हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे 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 रामा राम राम हरे हरे विष्णुपाय कृष्ण पृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते कदम्बकानंद स्वामी नामिने. Okay, Hare Krishna, everybody. So today is the beginning of the new chapter called The Sacrifice Performed by Daksha. But is it the new one he's doing it? Is it the first time he's doing it? No, he did it earlier. And as we know, the last 3, 4, 5 chapters, how it unfolded, he also tried to do the same sacrifice which he called everybody except his son in law. And for that, he has to pay the price for it. And what was the price? He lost his head. Along with all his associates, they also lost something. Some lost eyes, some lost teeth, some lost hand, legs, eyes, ears, whatever it was there. It's all missing some parts of their body. So now, after that, everything been settled down, then the father of Lord Shiva came down because he knew that. And even Lord Vishnu also knew that what's going to happen when you offend a Vaishnava. And we heard from different speakers also how they explained us the consequences of doing a Vaishnava aparad, especially the person who is Vaishnava Nam Yathashambhu, who is the topmost Vaishnava, what will happen. And then when this would happen, then Lord Brahma pacified him with many sweet verses or many powerful verses, which opens our eyes what is the position of Lord Shiva, in spiritual world and in material world. He's also been called a father of the living entity, yes? But Krishna also says, I'm also the father of all the living entity. So there are two different statements. It seems they are contradict to each other. No, but it doesn't. Because the both personalities are true. But how do we understand? Krishna is the father of the soul. And who we are? We are the soul. And Lord Shiva is the father of the material body. Because when he interact with the Durga Devi, then he gives the material body to the living entity. So both statements are correct. So whenever we understand these two different statements, which makes us bewildered, because for a living entity, father is always one. We cannot say I have two father, three father, or five or 10 father. No, it doesn't work like that. Father is always one. But there are two different personalities. They are saying the same thing. I'm also a father. So now we understand Krishna is the father of soul and Lord Shiva is the father of this material body. So the material body is temporarily. It comes and go. And Lord Shiva in the material world, he also comes and go because he's also one of the demigod. The second verse of today's chapter start with Mahadeva. Mahadeva. What do you mean by Mahadeva? If we split this two word Maha and Deva, what is Maha means great. We say Maha Mantra, which is great. Okay, and Deva means demigod. So he is the greatest among all the demigods. He is the head of all the demigods. He is the greatest among the all the, and he himself is claiming and saying these demigods who were partaking in the Daksha sacrifice, who were in favor of Daksha, they are like child. Okay, being a matured father or a matured person in our life, we can see when a child is doing some mischievous activity towards us to anyone, no one takes seriously. They just let it go. Yeah, just a child, because they are ignorant, they are not very much experienced how to deal with the seniors and so and so. So they just let it go. Okay, and that's what he's saying. He said these demigods, they are very childish by nature. Why? Even though they have been appointed by Lord himself to take care of the material affairs, but their devotion is mixed. It's called karma mishra bhakti, more or less, because they do some devotion to the Lord, but in favor they want to enjoy. Okay, but when that enjoyment becomes more severe, which start offending the senior, the person who appointed you, if you start offending that person, so some more or less they use a different level of degree to punish them. Either they use the word to make them understand. We say it, what do you say in Sanskrit? Oh, Krishna. Danda Bheda. How does it start? Sam Dama Danda Bheda. So there are different level of degrees. We make the person helpful to understand. Please come into your consciousness. We straight away doesn't go, like that. Punish the person straight away. Take a stick or chop their head off. Beat them up. No. The parents, we have also seen when we were childhood, due to our immaturity to deal with the material world, especially with our teachers, with our relatives, and our seniors and our elders. So our parents, they make us understand, no son, whatever you have done, this is not right. This shouldn't be done. So next time you be careful when you use your word, you use your action. So when we don't listen in one time, second time, third time, fourth time, then they raise their voice. I told you not to do this, again you are doing it. When the child is not able to listen, then they use the danda, they use the punishment. And many times in the pastime of here, Daksha, many other Brahmanas who were in the favor, or see, one type of people, they are in the party of Daksha, and one type of people, they were neutral. They were making him understand, don't do this. Okay, the wife of Daksha, she was also telling the Daksha, please don't do this, he's your son-in-law, this type of inimical behavior is not good, we will lose our reputation and many other things. But he didn't listen. So there are always some people like this in our life. They give us good advice. Okay, but we don't listen to them. And when we do our own thing, then the punishment is always there. It's up to us how much do we surrender to it. So one sense, I found there are two type of topics to discuss in today's class. The first is we should not surrender to the demigods. Okay, there is no point to do it because their intelligence is also not sufficient to guide us spiritually because they are also in the grip of material illusion. Okay, is there any pastimes do you recall in your mind when you read Śrimad Bhāgavatam or the histories of the Vedic literature where many great personalities they have punished their subordinate or the juniors when they did this type of mischievous things? Indra, Lord Krishna punished him because Krishna gave him the position to take care of the material world, and he's been called, he's the manager. He's the manager of material world. He's the in charge of rain also. Okay. When he start becoming puffed up by his position and opulent, he start thinking himself, I am the supreme personality of Godhead. If a child or an employer are given a higher position as a manager in the office or a factory, because the boss trusts on him, okay, you're going to do the nice job, and because the big responsibility or big power comes with big responsibilities, and if the person start misusing his power and his position, so the actual boss has to come down to correct it. Okay, Brahmaji also said, and many other people also advised, no, no, I just want to check it out. Who is this? I am the actual Bhuktaram. Then Krishna has to come and appear and correct him. You are not the Bhuktaram, Indra. I am the Bhuktaram. I am the actual boss. You are my servant. When he punished him by so many means, and he came into his own consciousness and he started offering the prayer, not in front of everybody, just privately. But he offended him openly, publicly. But he was making, his apology privately. Krishna says, okay, I do accept it. And who else did? Brahmaji. Brahmaji also offended, just stole all the cowherd boys and cows and everybody, in the grip of Krishna. He also did. And who else? Chastised when they, yes, Prabhu? Yeah, I said. Yeah, I said. Brahma Vimohan Leela. And Vidura also did to his elder brother Dhritarashtra. Okay, he was under him, he was taking care of him, but he was so matured. And when he was chastised by his nephew Duryodhana, he didn't say anything. He said, this is not the right time, he's foolish. Okay, he's puffed up with his own power, bodily strength, mystic power and position. This is not right. He just went away. But when he came back, he straightway went to see who? Dhritarashtra, and he chastised him very heavily. It is sometime when we get the chastisement from the senior, it is for our good. I don't know how many of you have been fortunate enough to chastise by your Guru Maharaj or by the seniors like temple presidents and many others. If you haven't, you are so unlucky. Because compassion not only just comes with a sweet word, compassion also comes in anger. I'm pretty much sure all of us has been chastised by our parents or our school teachers or college teachers many times. But that time, due to immaturity, we didn't appreciate those things. Oh, you are not a good father. You are not a good mother. You are not a good teacher. But nowadays, if you do that, the students shoot the teacher. Boom. Especially in America, everyone we are scared. I don't know who's carrying the gun. Instead of carrying the textbook in the bag, they're carrying the bombs and guns. If you raise the voice, next moment there will be no extra lecture for you. Boom. And especially these things are happening in India also. I've seen, there's so many videos are there. A small child, 11 or 12 years old, he has been chastised to his mischievous activity because he was making tobacco in the class. Okay. So teacher caught him and chastised him because he felt offended because I have been chastised by front of everybody. So he went home, he got the gun, like desi gun, and he was just waiting to school to finish. As soon as the teacher came out, boom, finish. And when he got caught, why did you do that? He says, my teacher chastised me. So do you think what is the future of that child? What is the future of that child? That's it, down. He will suffer for his whole life. And we all can see when we have been chastised by our parents, that time we didn't appreciate, but much year later, it could be 15 years, 20 years, and 30 years, or when we become father, when our own child is doing the same thing and gave the same answer, what we gave the answer to our father, we feel that, oh, my father was right. My if he could not have chastised me that time, whatever I am today, I wouldn't be on the same position. So due to our immaturity, we act like that. And that's what the Lord Shiva did. Whatever happened to him, he just tolerated. He just tolerated. When the water goes above the head, he says, "Ki now we have to do something about it. We need to take some action. Otherwise, it will be keep going on and they will go to the hellish planet." So the chastisement of the guru, of the seniors, it is not meant because out of envy. It is their compassion, because they have warned us many times. They have warned us many times not to do this. But we keep doing it. Until and unless we just come to our, sometimes sadhu has to use the harsh word to shake the person, like Vidura did. Prabhupada right in that purport that Vidura, okay, he's a Vaishnava. He shouldn't have to use the heavy word. He was saying to Dhritarashtra, Dhritarashtra, my dear brother, you are eating the leftover by Bhima. You are eating their remnants. Can you believe it? You tried to kill all the five Pandavas since their birth, okay, and they became compassionate about you, even though they have killed 100 of your sons. You are so shameless. You're so shameless that you are sleeping or living comfortably in the house of your enemy, which you thought. Okay, what kind of person are you? You are eating the leftover, the remnants of Bhima, the Bhima who killed your son, 100 son. I mean, such a strong word, he's been used because he used many soft word that didn't work on him. So sometimes sadhu has to use the strong words to shake the person, very, very, very badly. Prabhupada did. Many times he was just trying to correct his students, disciples. If you see so many pastimes, person doesn't listen. So Prabhupada has to raise his voice. What for? Is it that he just want to take the advantage, because I'm a guru, you just want to serve me, surrender? No. Because he's been so compassionate that you people are so dumb that the spiritual knowledge is not going into your head. And top of that, I'm giving you a chance and you are taking this chance to gratify your own senses. And that's what the whole thing was going on in Daksha's pastime there. The whole thing was going on. Lord Krishna has said in Bhagavad Gita 7.23, Alpamedhasam, Alpamedhasam, these demigods, whoever worships, first of all, the Lord Shiva himself is saying they are less intelligent, okay? And the person who follows them, they are also less intelligent. Why? Why is that so? Because everybody is hankering for the sense enjoyment. Indra was puffed up. It was my worship. It was my worship. And that's why all these individual demigods, more or less, they also puffed up. Oh, it was my worship. So they are worshipping me. But later on in chapter 7, Lord Krishna says, even though they are not an individual, benefactor, they are not allowed to give benediction to anybody. If somebody asks them, they come and ask me. So when I allow them, then they are allowed to give to others. So even they themselves are not independent. So where is the question? And their benedictions and their blessings, they are also temporarily, and they only relate to the material world. Okay, Hiranyakashipu worship Brahma. What happened to them? Only for his bodily sense gratification. He just want to become immortal. Lord Brahma says, man, I'm not the one, who is immortal. How can I make you immortal? Then he used his mind to figure out he can protect himself from everywhere. But when he did, when the whole job was finished, he was killed. Nrsingadev, he chastised Lord Brahma. Why do you give this type of benediction? Don't you have any intelligence? How to give the benediction? You people, out of your public position, you give the benediction, tatha astu, but later on I have to fix the problem. I never came into such a weird form. Now I have to take a weird form. Body, man, head, lion. I mean, what is this here? I have to come like that. And same thing happened with whom? Lord Shiva also one time. He blessed one Asura. And that Asura was so envious because he liked Parvati Mata, the wife of Lord Shiva, because she was so beautiful. He became lusty towards her. He says, what is the benediction? He says, if you can touch your hand on somebody's head, that person will be dead. He will blast. He said, oh, can I check it? I'm going to check on you. And Lord Shiva has to run. The person who gave the benediction, he has to run. He has to run. And the Lord Vishnu has to come and fix his problem. So everything we say, even the Mahadev himself got a problem, but he is on the topmost because he understands his position. He is a Vaishnava. He does understand because these people they offended upon him. And now here the second things Srila Prabhupada here says that this is from one party side, and what is from our side? How do we take the lessons from our side when we get chastisement? How do we handle this? When we are in the family, when our father, mother, elder brothers, and elder sister, when they chastise us, so do we leave them? Why? Do we say anything bad? Until unless you are trained in a Vedic culture, but India, here they say it. Kids, fire them back. In Melbourne, one of my friend, his children went to school first day. Okay, first day they went to school. So the for a father and a mother, you can see it's such a festival in their life. The first day the child has gone school. So do you think what would be the common question for every parents? What did you learn? Which Hiranyakashipu also asked his son, so my dear Prahlad Mar, what did you learn? Tell me, I want to hear from your mouth. So my friend, he also asked his daughter, what did you learn? Show me. And did something she did by the evening, and father slapped her, like out of love. And I just laughed that. And she opened the copy. She said, Dad, if you did next time, I'm going to call the cops. Because the first day they got the notebook, the important information from the school. If your parents touches you or beats you, call the police immediately and get them arrested. And can you see what is the future of the child? If the great protector has gone out of your life, what would happen to you? So from our side, as the person who has been chastised, we have to see the mercy of the Lord. Okay, there is somebody in our life keeping an eye upon us. Make sure we do the right thing. This thing you don't get in Western countries. It's only you can get in a Vedic culture. Okay, when I was growing up, because among the streets, among the city and everything, we know everybody, every house we know who is who. We go every day, every now and then, we share what we have cooked. So there is a great bonding. So when we were kid, I remember that whenever we were kid and my mom has to go to buy something in the shopping center, she always tell the neighbors, okay, please keep an eye on my children. If they do anything, I have full permission, don't try to beat them. Because we were so mischievous, just playing around. Because if the parents are not there at home, we know all what we have done. Couches, pillow, ripped off, bottles are out, we are eating anything, breaking something, and mom comes, she sees the whole house is upside down. Okay, she says, "Ki, if our children goes out of the house, please don't ask me or tell me, you can correct them immediately." And we have been corrected by that. Otherwise, we can go anywhere. We were just child. We just want to play, take a football, go around and here and there and gone somewhere, and we don't know how to come back to home. So it's a tension to us and it's a tension to the parents also. So, but if we are in the proper align, okay, now if the seniors are there, my authority is there. If they are asking me to do something, so we must follow it, especially on a spiritual path. Because spiritual path has been guided by or supervised by our seniors here. If you go to bank, okay, if you want to buy a loan, the experts are there. Loan expert, home loan expert, car loan expert, house loan expert, but whatever, the finance expert, personal, everything experts are there to guide us. But when we come to spirituality, we don't take it. We don't take it. I say, no, I don't need an expert. No, experts are there because the seniors, they have already walked onto that path and they know what are the problems will be there when a new person is walking on the path. So when they guide them, so we should take as the blessings of the Lord is using them to help us, so we should not waste our time. But if you do anything wrong and to correct that thing, it takes time. Prabhupada writes, and Shastras also says, the first class intelligence is what? The person who hears in a first time and he immediately surrenders to it. Okay, I heard my seniors are saying, acharyas are saying, scriptures are saying, I shouldn't have to do it. But a second class, I don't know. Let me try once. So when he tries, and when he gets the fire back, oh yes, they were right. They were right. I think I shouldn't have to do it. So he doesn't do that. And what is the third class? He hears again and again, and the things happen to him. He doesn't learn from that experience. So, what kind of intelligence we do have to use? The first class one. When we hear, we observe, because whatever we heard from the Shastra, we can observe in our life or in others' life. Okay, Shastra is saying this, it's not happening to me, but the same thing is happening to my friend and he's suffering. But if I do the same thing, so I have to be like him, so better I should not do this. Precaution is better than cure. Okay, cure is there, but that cure comes with suffering and it takes a lot of time. So better you follow the precaution is been given in the scriptures. They are only meant for to protect us. Like many people they say ISKCON has so many rules. No, it's not ISKCON's rules. It's a rule of Vedic scripture. Okay, ISKCON doesn't have its own thing. It just follow the Vedic scriptures and ask you to follow the Vedic scriptures. Such as in first canto, chapter 7 and 16, if you see, when the Kali comes, Prabhupada writes, okay, no illicit sex, no gambling, no meat eating, no intoxication. He says, and some people say, oh, so how do you live your life without them? They think if you don't follow these things means your freedoms are snatched away. No, they are not snatched away. If you follow these four rules, you are free. Free from your karma, free from your sinful activity. So these rules are to give you protection. Why do a people, either in their farm or at their house, they make a fence around? Why? To protect everybody. Okay, this is your boundary. I should not cross it. You should not cross also. So there is a happy relation. Why there are rules and regulations on the road as a traffic rules? Why? So everyone can live in peace and harmony. Okay, you know what is your boundary. They know what's your boundary. What light you have to go through. What light they have to go through, and everything is been settled down. What for? To give us protection. To make sure we should not spend our time in the hospital and jail. That's all the main thing. Everybody likes to be free, yes? Everybody likes to be sit at home with their family. But if you do something and you are end up in the jail and in the hospital, so it's a suffering for the both. The person who loves you and to whom you love, because you are not able to spend the time with them. And the same thing here. Because this Daksha and their party, they crossed their boundary. They just crossed their boundary and they went too far away. For somewhere we have to correct that. But we will find out in some more shlokas ahead that how Lord Shiva is blessing everybody. He says, okay, now I will, because the head is gone, the punishment is done. So what is the lesson? So we should not do it again. That is the greatest lesson, comes from the punishment. But if the person does not learn from the punishment, so what will happen to him? He will be punished again and again. And that's what happening to all of us as a conditioned soul who are taking birth again and again in this material world. We are not learning from our mistake. We are not learning from the mistakes are there in the Śrimad Bhāgavatam like those sages or those kings has done. We are not learning the people around us. If we don't learn, then we have to come back again and again in this material world and then suffer for that. So please always take, if you have anything, just moment, take a break. Just say, "Ki, why did I got that chastisement from my senior? What did I do? Did they ask me to do something that I didn't do that? I meant to do it." Just take a break, because we have a tendency, I'm not wrong. I am not wrong. The other person is wrong. He has to correct himself. Okay. Give you an example, another one. There is a girl, 12 years, 13 years old girl. She comes with her boyfriend at home and she tells the father and the mother, "Mom, we are going to enjoy our weekend at home." 12 or 13 years old girl. What's her intelligence is? What's her maturity is? According to her level, she's good, yeah? It's good for her. But the parents, they are matured in the life. They can say, "No, this is not the right time and you cannot do this." Why? Because they are more experienced. They can see the bigger picture. But the little girl, she can only see the small picture. So she's been stopped by the parents. What she says, "You're a bad parents." And you don't follow them, you reject them, either you leave the home. When you leave the home, what will happen to you? Then you suffer. You suffer by your own body mind. Adhyatmika, adi bhautika, adi devika. Then you suffer like anything. But when you are under the protection of your parents, you're fully protected. Mom, dad, they will feed you, shelter is there, you know, all the protections are there. In a similar way, when we are also in the spiritual life, when we are under the protection of our gurus and the temples, we must follow the rules and regulations, because they are meant for us to protect us. Prabhupada says, if your sadhana is good, if your morning programs are good till the Bhagavatam, then I guarantee you no Maya can touch you. Why we are suffering from whole day to work out? Because somewhere we are lacking in our practice. One time somebody asked Srila Gaur Govind Maharaj, "Maharaj, how can I build that tolerance? Because tolerance is not there in me. If anything happens to me slightly, somebody say anything or anything happen, I just blast. I can't handle it." Maharaj says, "Because your sadhana is not strong. If your sadhana is not strong, you are not able to handle the fire which material existence is giving you, either in the form of a devotee or a non-devotee, or by your own body and mind, or by many means." Because once you learn the art, because this is your suraksha kavach, this is your security upon your consciousness, because you know how to handle the art, how to handle the situation. So we must always stick to all the morning programs and learn and ask. If you have any questions, please try to understand that seniors are around you. You can ask, "How should I understand that this subject matter which I am not able to understand?" Open up your heart. Yeah. Rupa Goswami said in Nectar of Instruction, "Dadati प्रतिगहनति गुह्यम अख्याति प्रचति भुंगते भोजायते deva shan vidyam priti lakshanam." The six loving exchanges among the devotees, one of is you open your heart if you have any questions and get the remedy from your seniors. So otherwise, if the problem is there, you won't be able to succeed, because they have crossed that. They can tell you, serve them. Okay, nicely. Tad vidhi pranipatena paripashnena seveya. Upadekshanti te jnanam jnaninan tattvadarshana. By getting pleased by your service, by your attitude, by your words and everything, seniors will guide you time to time how you can come up. Otherwise, it's very, very difficult. Okay, 10 minutes to go. If anybody has any questions regarding to today's lecture, or if you have anything else to ask, I will try to answer them. Yes, Dylan Prabhu, Hare Krishna.
I think something very important that you touched upon in the last part of the lecture.
Louder, louder.
The last part of the lecture, you're talking about something that reminded me of what Srila Prabhupada keeps on saying in the Bhagavad Gita and the Bhagavatam, is that we must take authority of something.
You
So
must?
we must take authority from
Yeah.
some source.
Yeah.
We either take authority of Shastra,
Yeah.
of the Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita, or we take authority from Maya. You know, some
Yeah.
people say, "Oh, I won't take authority of anything,"
Yeah.
you know, but actually they're implicitly taking authority of Maya and the
Yeah.
material nature.
Yeah.
And something important in our spiritual practice is actually taking authority from the Bhagavatam with
Yeah.
full faith and
Yeah.
taking refuge absolutely
Yeah.
in the teachings of the Bhagavatam. And so my question is, how can we develop that sincerity and not just saying the same things that the Bhagavatam and the Bhagavad Gita is saying, but really feeling in our heart that we're actually taking refuge and taking authority
Yeah.
from the Bhagavatam in our heart?
Yeah.
Something.
So the answer is that whatever the current acharya has set up the system for us, we must follow it. Because Bhagavatam has been said 5,000 years ago. And there were many acharyas as time, places, and circumstances, they allowed their disciples to follow. Okay. But in today's, our current acharya is Srila Prabhupada. Okay. Whatever the system has been set up, then we must have to follow. Like in one time, Prabhupada has many students, so they were not reading his books, they were reading the books of other acharyas. Okay, like Raghunath Das Goswamis and many others and many others and many others. And then Prabhupada has to stop them. He says, "Ki, no, you just read what I have written. I gave you all the essence of all the acharyas, which make easier your life." Okay, but they were not following it. So this person got agitated. So one day he came to Prabhupada and he was reading some book, and Prabhupada told him, "What book are you reading?" He says, "I'm reading your spiritual master Bhakti Siddhanta Maharaj's book." Then he thought he gave a checkmate to Prabhupada, that Prabhupada can't say anything. Then Prabhupada says, "Only I can understand the meaning of my Guru Maharaj." Okay, so that's why we need to understand that the way acharya has been presented that make the things easier. If you, some people like to quote this Maharaj, this acharya, this and that, but if you really want to follow, then follow fully. Do not follow just one bits here, one bits there, one bits there. No, that time was completely different. If you say Prabhupada's spiritual master, his standard was 64 rounds. Some people try to take, oh, this. Okay, just follow properly. He says 64, just sit at one place and chant 8 rounds. And he also said, I don't like to see my disciples getting fat. I want to see my disciples working hard for Krishna, not matmedi. One is grahamedi, and one, some of the brahmacharis or sannyasis, he says, ki don't be matmedis. Because grahasthas, they are attached to their house, and brahmacharis are or sannyasis are attached to some rooms. This is my room, this is my bed, this is my temple, this is my property. No, have to be detached from everywhere. So we need to understand that Prabhupada has given everything. Just understand, if you don't understand, seniors are there, gurus are there. Take the guidance from them and then develop the consciousness slowly, slowly. It's not a fast process, it's a very gradual process, step by step. Step by step, when you go up, then your feet are stronger on the spiritual path. Otherwise, if your foundation is not strong, if anything happens in your life, you will shake and you will leave everything. And that's why many people do it. When Arjuna heard the Bhagavad Gita, do you think he was peaceful in the battlefield? Because many people think spiritual life, oh, means shanti, means freedom, no problem, no tension, nothing. No, it's not like that. Arjuna did not complain, Krishna, you told me the Bhagavad Gita, I heard, and still I am being wounded, I'm bleeding. What kind of knowledge you gave me? I thought I will not bleed. No, it is to rejuvenate your duty, both material and spiritual. We have to do both. So I'm in the body. The body needs protection. What are the protection? According to seasons, I have to develop. And what is my spiritual duty? That also there. And temple is the best place. Prabhupada said they are the oasis in material world. Got the point? Okay. This row.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Thank you so much for the wonderful class. Is it fine now?
No, I think it's off.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Thank you so much for the wonderful class. Prabhu, in the beginning you mentioned that Lord Shiva also changes. So if you can
Lord Shiva changes in which times?
So you said that like when you were explaining the two fathers, like one is Krishna, who is the father of the spirit soul,
Yeah.
and Lord Shiva is the father of the
Material body. Yeah.
So you said that the body changes, the
Yeah.
material body changes.
Yeah.
In that context, you also mentioned that Lord Shiva also changes.
Yeah.
So if you can
In that context. Oh, yeah, of course, he's also temporarily in the material world. He is temporarily, but there is a Shiva in the spiritual world. Sada Shiva is a Vishnu Tattva. He doesn't. I think, if I'm not wrong, maybe Laghu Bhagavatamrita or somewhere, or Brahad Bhagavatamrita, I have read, when a person for 100 lifetime, if he perfect in his Varna Ashrama Dharma, he becomes Lord Brahma. When a person 100 lifetime or Lord Brahma becomes perfect, then he becomes Lord Shiva. And Prabhupada also says in Bhagavatam, if in some position, if the living entity is not available or eligible to take the post of a Shiva or a Brahma or Indra, sometime Lord has to come and take up that role. So in that sense, I said.
but then Prabhu, Lord Shiva is not Jiva Tattva, like Brahma is Jiva Tattva,
Yeah,
but Lord Shiva is not Jiva Tattva.
yeah.
So then how can a Jiva becomes Lord Shiva?
Yeah, I also the same question to Swam Bhagwan Ishwar Swami Maharaj. I haven't got the answer back yet. Because I asked him the same thing. I said, when a jiva becomes a perfect in 100 lifetime as a varnashrama, he takes the role of Brahma, and then again he takes up the role of Shiva. So how come a jiva turns into a Shiva tattva? So I just want to know. So I haven't got the answer back yet. But if you have anybody to ask who are kindly scholar, please, you can also help me to understand this point. Yeah, Vasili Prabhu.
You brought up, thank you, Hare Krishna. You brought up the fact that we also
Louder, louder.
You brought up the fact that we always need to take shelter of authority, whether it's
Yeah.
Maya or spiritual master guru.
Yeah.
But sometimes we have different opinions
Yeah.
from our senior disciples, from our even our spiritual authority
Yeah.
on a particular subject matter.
Yeah.
So in those cases, what would you say would be the proper course of action when we have two competing?
Do you have any example to give, such as during work? Because it happens case to case, like during service, you are saying, or many other things.
Yeah, service. Let's
Like
say service.
example.
Book distribution versus preaching, for example, or cultivation versus book distribution.
They are same thing. They are the same thing. They're the same link.
Or
Your book distribution is your preaching. Your cultivation is your preaching. It's a same goal or the same thread. It's just the same goal. It's the same goal. But anyway, I just answer you. But if you're saying in terms of the services, then we must follow the authorities, because they need to take care of a certain things. We are on a small level. We can only see the smaller picture, and they are on the larger scale. So they need to maintain everything. Yeah. Sometimes some certain services takes more important than other one. Because we think, "Yeah, I like to do it," but I tell you what, Rupa writes, the actual Vaishnava is the one who does the needful. Who does the needful. Yeah, we like to attach, we are attached to certain services. Okay, I want to go there, I want to do this and that, which they do allow. But on certain cases, certain days, if there is a call upon duty, so we need to do the needful. Because yasya prasada, bhagavad prasada. If the authorities are pleased, Krishna is pleased. But if they are not pleased, then what is the hope? I mean, that's my open answer to all your that you were not able to open up. Okay, Michael Prabhu, you have one question.
So just
Okay, you
one
have.
thing, I think
Louder.
Prabhu was asking, when you have multiple senior authority,
Multiple senior authorities, yes.
yeah, and then their opinions clash.
Yeah.
Like one person tells you to do one thing,
Yeah.
which is in conflict with what other senior tells you to do.
Yeah.
Then what to do? Is that right, Prabhu?
Okay. So the answer, I also asked in 2013 and 14 this question. And the answer is ki let them decide. You don't take the call from your side. You can just tell them ki somebody, one of my senior, those like if they are 4 or 5, if one says you do this, other says you do this, other say you do this, just tell them ki everybody is saying me, can you people please decide what should I do among yourself, and just throw the ball into them, because then they have to decide. And yeah, because you are not the person who you are going to choose. Okay, I like this one, I don't like this one, I don't like this one. So they will decide among themselves what you're going to do at that certain time. Okay. And ultimately, if the president is there, then he takes over everything because he's the ultimate one. Okay. Michael Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Thank you
Hare
for the
Krishna.
class. I just wanted to your explain on you were earlier talked about Prabhupada talks about first class intelligence,
Yeah.
and what that means is
Yeah.
somebody tells you once and then you follow it.
Yeah.
But what if it's a senior, or let's say a less senior, but you have doubt or you don't trust what they're saying? So
Yeah.
would that just make you a second class devotee if you don't trust it? Like what they're
No, it doesn't. That's why one time Srila Prabhupada, one person came and he said, Prabhupada, there's so many people, they come and tell me Prabhupada says this, Prabhupada says that, Prabhupada says that. I'm totally confused what you have said. Okay, I don't know what to do because I'm in the kitchen. One says, Prabhupada told me to cut like this. One says, no, Prabhupada told me to cut like this. So they were having an argument. The Prabhupada says, you read my books and you hear from me, all the doubts will be clear. Make sense or not?
makes sense.
Yeah. So because if authorities are also there, maybe they are senior to you, maybe a year or 2 years ago. I'm not saying all the authorities are great and they're going to tell you and they're going to guide you to the right path. So you as a disciple, as a junior also, or every one of us has a right to make sure their instructions are also aligned with the Vedic scripture. Prabhupada always says there's a triangle, Shastra, Guru and Sadhu. Make sure they all are saying the one thing. That's why we also need to be intelligent enough. So make sure that, okay, if you have any doubt, oh, maybe this is my senior, he's my senior. I don't know whether his instruction is aligned with the Vedic scripture. So let me take guidance with other seniors. You speak to them, open up your heart and see how you go. Because everything is volunteer here. It's not that if you heard something from there and then you need to follow it, otherwise you are dead. No, you need to also have your own intelligence. That's why reading Srila Prabhupada books, hearing his lecture every day is so important, very, very important. So you can tell, because sometime in a very gentle mood, you can also express your concern to the senior. Oh, I thought Ki Prabhupada said these things in that terms. If they are matured, they will also learn from you. It's not that I'm a senior only, you have to learn from me. If a Vaishnava, he's learned from everybody, from a junior also. But if you think he's a mature, oh yeah, maybe you are right. Yes, you can do that thing. Make sense? Yeah. Okay. Thank you. I have to serve now breakfast. I have to get off the Vyasasana. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Grantara Śrimad Bhāgavatam ki jai, Nitai Gaur Premanande.
Param Brahma Prabhu ki.
Prabhupada ki jai. Yeah, yeah.